Okay, so here we go. EDC organizer. Let's see. We are going to take a look at the Sage 5. Oh, and let's see, Sage 5 buttons. We got some Sage 5 buttons. This button has 10,000 opens on it. This knife has 10,000 opens on it. With no problems. It has stayed on. And this is the glue that I've used. This, what is it? Duro Super Glue Gel. Just cheapo, either Walmart or Harbor Freight or something. I mean, it's just cheapo glue and gel glue. And that's what I've used to put these buttons on. And it sticks. It stays. Been really surprised. When I first started opening this knife, I put a couple of drops of EWL 30 Slip 2000 on the just in the pivot area down in here and started opening it. This knife right here opens like a dream. It is a nice knife. 10,000 opens and it has held up great. This is also a Spyderco second. This knife right here is kind of, I have a knockoff Para 3. So I'm not really doing a comparison as far as that knife because or maybe I will unless I end up with a actual Para 3. So I don't know. We'll see. But this knife right here is, from my understanding, about the same or comparison to the Para 3. This one right here is the G10 model, and it comes standard with this wire clip, which I don't have a problem with. It's done fine. It held up great. I didn't have no issues with it in my pocket. I didn't have any issues with the button in my pocket. When it's open, the button comes up just barely proud of the scale, so there's no problem. You're not going to accidentally trip it and close it, and it's easy to use and close the knife. This knife is as is or was received. Easy to open. It is a smooth knife. The only things I could find to make it possibly a second is a little dark dot right there and another one right there. And so that's the only thing I could figure that could potentially make it. This is something else that I don't really know if it is, but if you look at the Spyderco logo, I don't know how it is potentially showing up. It may appear to be dark. It may not. There is really, it's almost like, you know those pictures where you move it, flex it a little bit, and it changes, the picture changes? It's almost like that. So with different light, you can see different portions changing from a grayish color to a darker grayish color, and maybe that is what makes it a second. I don't know. But this is in CPM Rex 121. I'm really glad he talked me into getting this this blade steel, because I really look forward to trying to check this stuff out. Taichung, Taiwan. So this is one of the Spydercos that is actually made in Taiwan. I think the hardness on this is around 70. And so technically that's hard enough to actually take this and score or cut glass with that tip. This is a sturdy tip. I don't think you're going to have a problem with damage other than it being so hard that potentially could chip. And I think that's the only downside to this 121 is the potential for chipping, because it is supposed to be the bomb diggity when it comes to edge retention. So this knife right here, you've got some finger jimping right in here in the finger choil. You got finger jimping across the back of the blade, and a small amount right here at the just behind the pivot on the back of the knife. The spacer in here looks kind of cool. It's a standard style spacer, I believe, that Spyderco usually has, kind of a dumbbell shaped spacer. And I guess that is going to be a lanyard loop hole, which is extremely small. I mean, I would say literally, see, that won't even fit through it. I would say that's less than a 1/4 inch in diameter hole there. You can change it from left to right hand carry. This is like a burnt orange scale. It's again, this isn't as grippy feeling to me as a lot of the Spyderco's scales are, but at the same time, it's got a lot of grip. I've felt so many Spyderco's that have good strong grip, but they felt smooth. This right here is even more smooth than the rest of them, and maybe that's just because my hands are calloused or thick or something. But this right here feels even more smooth, but it's still got a good grip. I don't feel like I would lose this knife at all. I feel very comfortable holding the knife, of course, just like this. You've got I like this swoop. I like this swoop right here in the handle because that allows me to put my pointer finger in that loop right there and get my other pointer finger right there in that finger choil, and I've got control of that blade. I've got control of that knife, and it's still got that nice back. I don't know what you call it, banana shape. that angle on the back of the knife. I really like that. It fits my hand really good. I like the way it fits my hand. If you want to get into that murder grip they talk about, I think I'd cut myself possibly, maybe, I don't know. This knife right here I like it. I really do. If this if it really is comparable with the Para 3, then I feel like I would love the Para 3 too. This knife right here, a lot of people complain about this wire clip. But again, I mean, where you're wanting this extreme edge retention, I think if this is going to be your box opener, it's going to last forever, and you're going to be in an environment probably that you need just a utilitarian style knife, and this right here fits that bill. Price wise, I don't think it does. I think it's a lot more expensive it's probably the most expensive box cutter you ever buy, or I did anyway. There's no jimping underneath here like there are in several of the other ones. You have this jimping right up underneath here, but then again, you have this very, very prominent, I don't know what you would call that, but it's just a stick out, a stick out on the bottom of the blade. And so here you can see, and I don't know if it actually, but I really don't see it coming into, yeah, it doesn't even come out past this section right here. So even without the button on there, it doesn't hit your hand. This knife right here, I did not have issues closing it with the, without the button. Because I did close it 2 or 3 times without the button, and then I put the button on it, and then I went to my 10,000 times opening and closing it, and I didn't have issues. But what the button does for me, it makes it so much easier for me to close it because I'm not having to try to get in here, because I really need to do this so I can get in here and do this to get inside there. But with this button on there, I'm just right there because I can't get in there good without, with my big chubby fingers. And so that button gives me something easy to come against, and there you have it. Again, this knife right here has been, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 10,000 openings on this knife right here. This knife right here was so smooth and easy opening, and maybe it's because I put the EWL on there right off the bat, but it was so smooth and easy that I think I finished it in just maybe a week, and that's what I'm talking about. Throughout the day, I'd work on it, and so I was opening this knife right here close to 1,000 times a day, and so actually it was more than that, especially because I'd open it 200 or 300 times just between going to work and coming home from work. The blades lockup is solid, nothing up or down, left or right. Nothing has been tightened on this. None of the screws, none of these screws at all have been tightened. Now, being as this blade is such a hard blade, I'm looking forward to taking this one apart when I do the teardown to look at the 10,000 opens. I'm not counting opens anymore, so it's over 10,000. But I'm looking forward to seeing, because this being such a hard blade, I would expect there to be zero wear on the blade, probably not even marks. All of it would be on the phosphor bronze washers, or potentially the liners on the inside. I don't know. We'll talk more about that when I get to that video, because this is not that video, Kevin. This knife right here, it feels really good in the hand. That clip is just does not bother me. I can feel it, but it is not intrusive. I guess because of this rounded wire-ish style of the clip. And so I kind of like this clip. I really do. I forget which knife I was opening 10,000 times before this one, but this finger got extremely sore because I would hold it back here on the clip. Kind of like this right here is how I would do opening it up. Or I'd get in here and, just flip it with my thumb, just kind of like that right there, which my hands are still tired because I got another knife I'm opening now. So I'm not really opening knives very well. Excuse me. Of course, I'm not a guru. Even when I am, my hands are not sore and tired. But so the pocket clip is good. I don't have an issue with this pocket clip. I don't think I would change it out. Maybe something that looks kind of cool would strike my interest, but this is a very usable, good pocket clip. It is, in my opinion, a medium pocket clip, and I don't think it would go out on me. I don't think I would, stretch it or anything of that nature. The liners are recessed on the back, the front, and all the way around. Again, you have jimping on the ramp coming up behind the back of the blade and just a little bit back here. So this jimping back here really doesn't serve much purpose for my hands. My fingers are kind of callousy and stiff, and so I kind of skate over that. But when I hit that jimping right there, it locks in. That jimping right there is not sharp, but it is very grippy. I don't know what Spyderco does to do that, but they do it, and they do it right. Same thing underneath here. That is a very solid jimping underneath there. The pivot is T8. Hardware is T8. And yeah, and the pocket clip is T8. So everything, all the hardware is T8 on this knife. The compression lock on the back, it is not stiff. I had no lock stick, but then again, with the Slip 2000, I don't think you'd have, any lock stick even if you tried to, because of that stuff. I think that stuff would fix any potential lock stick that you could have. So this knife right here is a definite positive as far as I'm concerned. The color right here I wasn't crazy about in the beginning, but it did wear on me after a while, and I do like this kind of burnt orange look. It's close to a brown, but not brown. So I think it's a good color. I like it. I like everything about this knife. The more I opened it, the more I used it, the more I carried it. And so this right here, I like bigger knives, but at the same time, right, this right here is a perfect EDC knife, in my opinion, because it's not a big knife. It's not a small knife. It is a very sharp knife, a very good knife. This is the classic leaf style blade that I really like. Of course, it's got the hole and the Spidey hole, and it works good. It's easy to get to with the finger, the thumb, however you want to do it. Really, it works either way. You can also do the well, I don't know if you could do it without the button, but with the button on there, I mean, you can just flip it open and close just like you would a, what do they call that? A crossbar lock. So this knife right here, it looks good. It looks, I like the looks of it. I like the size of it, everything about it. This is a good EDC knife. The Sage 5, I think you could do a lot worse than getting the Sage 5. If I had a choice, which I haven't handled a PM3 other than a clone. So if I had a choice, I'm at a disadvantage having not handled a real Spyderco PM3, but this is what I would pick. I would definitely pick the Sage 5 over the PM3 for sure. Tell me your thoughts about that. Tell me what you think about it, because you probably have a PM3 and I don't. I've got a clone. And the one thing I have learned about Spyderco knives is don't decide not to get a Spyderco knife because of a clone. But a clone did make me decide to get a real Spyderco knife. And that's why I've got so many now, because of a clone. So I think they serve a purpose, but don't let it talk you out of a Spyderco, because I think you'd be you will be missing out a lot. I think you should go for it. This knife right here, this Sage 5, is a definite positive. This knife right here is a good EDC knife. The size is good. It's not too big in a pocket. It's not invasive whenever you're putting your hands down into your pocket. Doesn't get in the way. Larger knives tend to get in the way, and you kind of work your hand around the knife, get what you got to get out, and you might rake the knife out with your hand depending on what you're pulling out. This right here, I didn't have that problem because of the size of the knife. So that's why I say this is a perfect EDC knife, because of the size being good. The thickness is just fine. It's about on average for most of the Spyderco knives. So I can't say anything negative about this knife at all. This is a definite keeper. 2 thumbs up. If you don't have a Sage 5, I think you should get one. If you have a PM3, stick with it. Unless you just want a different steel, or you like that compression lock like me. I like the compression lock. So luckily I ended up with a Sage 5 first. Well, who am I kidding? If I had a PM3, I'd still get a Sage 5. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I enjoy spending time with you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.